Okay, we're going to kick things off today, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who's joining us to be part of our Glad to be GAAD Global Accessibility Awareness Day 2023 celebrations. We have put together a ton of, I think, really exciting content. We're going to talk a little bit about the influence of our partnership and connection with our accessibility interest group, the influence that they've had on us as an organization here at D2L, the way that we partner together to create more accessible learning experiences for all. We're going to share some of the inspirational words from educators all across the world who are using Brightspace to make a difference, to make a more equitable learning experience for their students and also for their educators and administrators. We'll also connect you with some of the resources that we've been compiling in our Accessibility Academy found in the Brightspace Learning Center. There's so much to cover, and we are so pleased that you've taken some time to join us in celebrating this day.
Thanks so much, Steph. Yeah, Steph just kind of gave a little bit of an overview, but we're super excited. We are the community team and the accessibility team. We're just about to introduce ourselves to you. Super excited that you're here. And yeah, we'll be sharing some resources and we'll be chatting about ways that you can connect back with us.
I'm going to kick things off
Go
just
ahead,
a little bit because I'm that kind of troublemaker. I'm Steph Baldwin. I hope that this is not our first time connecting. I hope that you're jumping into our community every chance you can to get connected with us. We are there and waiting to have more chats with you anytime.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the GAAD event. I'm Asim, and I'm a community specialist here at D2L.
Hey, everyone. I'm Julie, and I'm also a community specialist.
Hi, I'm Andrea Blackwell, and I am also a community specialist.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sam, the Global Accessibility Lead, for those of you who I haven't worked with yet.
Hi, I'm Aggie Jimon, Accessibility Program Manager at D2L, welcoming you all to the GAAD event today.
And I'm Karen Hedrick. I am a Senior Accessibility Strategist, and so glad to see so many people here. It's great. So I guess this is fun. I'm not sure if the slide has moved or not. I assume it has. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the heck is Global Accessibility Awareness Day. So it feels like it's been going on forever, but it really has only been going on since 2012. And it all started when Joe Devon from Los Angeles, a developer who was, interested in inclusive design and things like that, wrote a blog post about how we should have a Global Accessibility Awareness Day to talk about the different ways people use the web who have different needs. And Janice and Asuncion saw that blog post and was like, yes, let's do this. And so the two of them came together and founded a Global Accessibility Awareness Day. And it's the third Thursday in May every year, which is great. And different companies celebrate it in different ways. But the whole point is just to talk about accessibility and how important it is and how it's just about everybody having a great experience, no matter how they experience the web or any technology now. And yeah, we in the past have done all sorts of things, from demo days to panel discussions to contests to all sorts of things. And just it's about talking about this because there are a billion people in the world who have disabilities. So it's not a small thing. I will pass it over to Sam to talk about what we're doing.
Hello. Hello, everyone. And first off, thank you, Karen, for being my buddy in D2L for the past 6 years.
Aw.
Only source of truth about accessibility. Thank you.
Gosh.
Hello, everyone, again. And we're so happy and thankful that you chose to join us in our GAAD celebration. Today, countless advocates around the globe are busy creating awareness about accessibility. But many of you might not be aware how closely D2L's vision, mission, and commitment align with the spirit of accessibility. So I wanted to share some stories around that. Right from the time our CEO, John Baker, wrote the first few lines of code for his engineering project at the University of Waterloo, he had this vision of a world where learning is accessible, engaging, and inspiring. That project now stands transformed as Brightspace. And his company, D2L, continues to hold that vision to build a more accessible world. And in his blog post titled Accessibility by Design, John narrates how hard it was those days for people with vision loss to get high quality education. And that motivated him to focus on using technology to break down those barriers to learning and to make learning more accessible. Now that commitment to accessibility in learning, born 23 years ago, still powers D2L. We're on a mission to transform the way the world learns. We wake up every morning with a passion to reach every learner, wherever they are in the world, whatever their age, ability, language, gender. We practice inclusive design to make Brightspace usable by all. And when I say all, I include not just learners with disabilities, but also instructors, instructional designers, admins, other staff with disabilities. And we are so grateful to our clients like CNIB, Vision Australia, International Disability Alliance, Deafblind Ontario, and so many more who help us keep Brightspace usable by all roles. At D2L, we count accessibility as part of our diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, because without accessibility, there is no inclusion. And our D2L community, of which you all are a part, is the most precious extension of Brightspace. Because in today's world of generative AI, where content creation tools such as ChatGPT are available for free, and the education community is in the grip of both excitement and fear, community is our only source of strength, validation, and clarification. I want to leave you with a thought that learning technology is only a tool that connects all of us. When technology becomes truly accessible, it vanishes, leaving only the people using it and their experience in teaching and learning. We're constantly working towards that goal. Thank you for making that possible by being a valuable member of D2L's extended family. And with that, I pass it back to you, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Sam, for your kind and inspiring words. They mean so much to both the community and all of the people that we are interacting with here in the community. So speaking of that, for Global Accessibility Awareness Day, and also to kind of shine a spotlight on what instructors are doing for inclusion and accessibility in their classroom, we did an interview series with several instructors. And you can view that interview series on our Brightspace Community YouTube channel or on our Twitter handle at Brightspace Help for the full interviews. But right here, we just really quickly wanted to make a compilation video. It's not the full interviews, it's just really great snippets of insight that we got from educators on what they think about when it comes to accessibility, what accessibility means in their own lives. And we just wanted to highlight their voices for you with just like a really quick clip.
For me, inclusive learning is all about enabling all learners to reach their full potential, enabling participation and removing barriers.
We aim to create an environment where everyone feels welcome, respected, and supported in their pursuit of knowledge and personal growth.
Additional accommodations for students needing closed captioning, transcripting, sign language, other assistive technologies, really being cognizant of those barriers that your students might face physically, mentally, emotionally.
Then we're building opportunities that, of course, we'll have access for all of those students, but then many of the other students will be able to benefit from that.
And then overall, actively embracing and gaining from the natural diversity we all have as learners.
I'll now invite Karen to just like quickly speak a little bit about the accessibility interest group.
Yeah. So, oops, sorry, my computer is being silly. Just want to talk a little bit about the accessibility interest group. It's been around for, gosh, a long time. I think back in the early 2000s, we started having an accessibility interest group, and the idea was born because we were still learning about accessibility and the clients wanted to help us get up to speed. They would bring us issues and action items and things, and we would work together. And sometimes they would come up with things that were super simple. Like at first we'd be trying to like come up with some sort of crazy, complicated way to do something. And it was an early drag and drop before there was nearly as much a possibility to make drag and drop accessible. And people were like, oh, maybe we can like make it somehow tactile and you drag your finger, and people were like, or you could make a cut and paste option. So sometimes the really simple option gets the job done and reduces the pain and several of the suggestions given by accessibility interest group participants are included in our system now. Our accessibility interest group is always a source of guidance and information, but now they've sort of turned to be a little community to help each other. So somebody will come and say, oh, how did you handle this sort of problem? And other members would be like, oh, well, I did this, and they're just like a really helpful group of people. So every month we get together at 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursday, the first Thursday of the month, and we have a discussion. Either someone comes in and talks, or one of the members is like, I really want to show you this thing that we did at school, and people talk about it and ask questions and all that fun stuff. It's just a really cool group of people. And now we're starting to move them into the community. We did have a mailing list, but I think it makes more sense to have everything in one place. We host the recordings in the community. We have a discussion place where people can ask questions and talk to each other. And it's all in one happy place, the D2L community. And I think, oh my goodness, my mind just exploded because I can't remember who comes next. So maybe somebody could save me.
That's just me, Karen. Thanks
It's
so
you.
much.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. So right now we just wanted to quickly experience gamification with you, because what's community without a little bit of gamification, right? So let's all put our accessibility thinking hats on, and we have a few questions for you, which will pop up in the format of a Zoom poll, and we'll ask you to interact with it, and let's get this going.
Okay, crew. Which are the two modes in which a screen reader presents information to the user? Is it speech and braille, speech and sign language? You should see a poll in front of you. If you don't, please connect with us through the Q&A. I do see some of you voting now. That's great. We'll give about maybe 10 more seconds to get your votes in there. Wonderful. Okay, now let's see how you did. Okay, it looks like most of you got the correct answer, speech and Braille. That is absolutely true. Screen readers can present information to the user either in audio mode as speech or in tactile mode as Braille notations. So that's just a little neat tidbit. This actually was pulled from one of our Learning Center resources. So supporting screen reader users is a Learning Center resource that we've partnered with the accessibility team to create. And it was really designed to assist instructors to support students who use a screen reader. There's lots of great tips and tricks in there. And something else that you'll love is Brightspace templates to help screen reader users. Something that's really neat that we've recently added to all of our accessibility courses is that there's a badge attached. So if you complete all of the content in this resource, you will achieve the Screen Reader Explorer badge, which is just kind of a neat little way to show that you're an accessibility champ.
Thanks, Julie. I think it's time for poll number 2. So true or false? Brightspace has a built-in accessibility checker in its HTML editor. And we'll just wait for the poll results to quickly come in. All right, we'll just give it 5 more seconds for anyone else who wants to respond. Real tough one is in this one. Awesome. All right. I will share the results, and we have a unanimous vote of 100%, which is absolutely correct. It is true. When you create or edit HTML content spaces inside Brightspace, you can select that check accessibility option in the editor. And that's a really neat tip from one of our other courses inside the Learning Center, the Accessibility Academy, called the Supporting Students with Low Vision. Again, this course is truly a resource which helps assist instructors in supporting students with low vision. What you'll absolutely love about this course is that there are tons of accessibility resources and live support forums that the course links out to. And as Juliet shared, this course features a unique badge called the Magnification Explorer badge that you can accomplish and achieve inside Brightspace when you review all content. Another neat thing is that you can definitely share these badges on social media as well. So that's definitely something to explore. Awesome.
All right, so the next question is true or false? When adding a link into your content, it's a great idea to connect the link to the words click here. And everyone here is obviously very knowledgeable because the answers come in very quickly. Just give it a couple more seconds before you're welcome to share the results.
Awesome. Yeah. Just give it 10 more secs. Awesome. All righty. And here we go.
So thank you for your answers. I also learned this one just when I joined D2L, but false. The best practices for adding a hyperlink is to use a clear and complete link description. So for example, if I'm linking to the Brightspace Community Tour article, I would use that same verbiage as what I was linking out to. And you can learn more about creating these clear and concise links and other ways to create accessible virtual presentations with a course we have in the Learning Center on this. Things that you will love about this course is that, again, you can earn a badge, something you can share on LinkedIn to show your growth and development and commitment to accessible learning. And there's also short video pieces that demonstrate how to create and how to be an accessible virtual presenter. And we also have a downloadable checklist to kind of check against when you're creating your virtual presentations. I know that I actually still use it just to make sure I'm keeping all of that in mind. So it's a great resource and we encourage people to check it out.
Thanks, Andrea. Let's do another one. So, true or false, the video note tool can be used to give accessible multimodal feedback to learners. This is a side note, but we have a little bit more information about resources which involve the video note tool coming. So stay tuned for that. It's great. Most of you have gotten your votes in. We'll just give it a few more seconds here. Awesome. Okay. Let's see what you thought. Most of you thought true. It is true. So the video note tool allows for auto captioning and can be embedded to create dynamic learning experiences with text, audio, and video. So something that a recent instructor that we partnered with from University of Windsor uses it both for assessment as well as instruction. So it's a neat little tool. You can find out more about Video Note through our Learning Center resource, which dives into, this was a customer spotlight. So we partnered with some folks from New York University, and here you'll find some quick tutorials that demonstrate the use of Video Note. So it's just kind of a neat little resource to see how another school is using this tool. There's also quick and easy video tutorials right within. And of course, the badge attached to this one is the Video Note Explorer. So check it out.
All right, time for question number 5. You can still get your votes in. So just give me 1 second as I launch this next one. Awesome. This one's a little bit of a curveball, one of the trickier ones, but what allows screen readers or other assistive technology users to understand the content of image files? There are 4 options. We have descriptive hyperlink, alternative text, HTML code, and symbols. I think all of you are accessibility champs because you guys are just powering through these questions. All right, I'll just give it 5 more seconds before I share the results. All right, so most of you got it right. It is alternative text. So alternative text allows those who use screen readers or other assistive technology to really understand the content of image files. It's important to understand these things as you're working through because alt text really gives context to those using those screen readers to understand the images on screen. And also another perk is that for users who have slow internet connections, the alt tag loads with the description of the image. So in case if the image doesn't show up on your page, they still know what you had intended to have there. This tip and trick really comes from the 3 keys to more accessible written communications course that was again designed here inside the Brightspace Learning Center. Here you will earn the school badge, which features 3 keys, which truly says inclusive writer, and again, can be shared on LinkedIn. The best part about this course is they're really short modules that highlight the best practices. So you don't need to think about like, oh, how long is it going to take for me to review this course? You're going to get everything in a very easily digestible manner. All right, and I think it's time for our last question.
All right, last one. Which assistive tool is integrated into the content tool, assignment, and quizzes in Brightspace? Is it Read Speaker or Recite Me?
I think we'll
You're all doing great sharing your knowledge with us.
We'll give it 5 more seconds before we end the poll. Awesome.
All right, so this is another wonderful piece of technology to learn about is the Read Speaker. with Brightspace, and it provides multimodal reinforcement for learners needing reading support by reading aloud and highlighting the text. It is a partner tool integrated into Brightspace. And you can learn about tools like ReadSpeaker and others in our accessibility lab. So our accessibility lab is an introductory course to disabilities, understanding disabilities, assistive technologies, and what accessibility features you can find in Brightspace. Again, it has the Lab Explorer badge just to highlight continued learning and engagement with these important aspects of education. And it also allows you to engage in hands-on exercises to experience accessibility features and tools to help you integrate those into your teaching and learning as well.
Thanks so much, Andrea. So that concludes our gamification piece, but we did want to share with you a cool spotlight, a customer spotlight with an educator we had recently partnered with from the University of Windsor. So Joe Cisco has been extremely generous with us, the community team, to really host an event with us, a Convos with Community session, as well as help highlight how he uses and other educators in his organization use the video note Brightspace tool to provide assignment instructions and more so provide meaningful and valuable feedback. This course is also formatted in quick snippet videos, so you'll definitely see how that tool comes to use. I think the main things from this course are really ways to record, to learn ways to record and insert a video note in the assignment feedback, as well as identify how to insert a video note to provide instructions. You'll again find yourself connected to this resource through the Brightspace Learning Center, which is an open access to all community members who have created an account with their organization in affiliated email address. So definitely do that. You can now connect through to the Brightspace Learning Center via the nav bar in the community.
Thanks so much. Awesome. That was a really exciting one to partner with, Joe. So speaking of these customer spotlight resources that we've shared with you, you could be next. You could potentially be our next customer spotlight, which we would love to connect with you. If you feel like you are doing something in Brightspace that you'd be willing to share, we'd love to chat with you. As Awesome mentioned, some of the ways that we're spotlighting our clients' use of Brightspace is through events. So we can host webinars to sort of spotlight you and your use of Brightspace. We can create a learning center resource together, as we've shared. And we've also started doing our Convos with Community mini interview series. So this is where you really get to sit down with us, the community team, and just chat about how you're using Brightspace. We definitely all have lots of expertise to share, and lots can benefit from hearing from you and how you're using Brightspace products and tools. So if you'd like to connect with us, please reach out to our Brightspace community at d2l.com email, or you can reach us through our @BrightspaceHelp Twitter handle. We are going to have a leave behind slide that will connect you with through the event. For other ways to connect with us too. So hope to hear from you.
And for attending this event, we wanted to highlight people's willingness to engage with accessibility and learning, and just really celebrating Global Accessibility Awareness Day. So we've created a community badge that would go on your profile in the Brightspace community. So having joined us for this webinar, we will be applying that for folks who have attended, because we really just want to celebrate and highlight you and your engagement with this critical piece of education, knowledge, and need.
Thanks, Andrea. So what's coming up? In the Accessibility Academy, there comes a new course, Brightspace Toolbox for Accessibility in UDL. Today, let's take a sneak peek at this upcoming course. So all this started with one of the accessibility board meetings at D2L, in which there was an ask for UDL training. So following that, in the accessibility interest group meeting in February this year, there was a discussion on having a UDL course in the Accessibility Academy. So we had discussion with AIG members to understand their interests and ideas for a proposed course focused on practicing UDL by being mindful of the needs of learners with disabilities. We discussed the challenges faced by educators in catering to accessibility needs of learners while practicing UDL, and what we could do to include in the course to help with that. We analyzed the discussion points and took the wonderful insights from that discussion to design and develop this course with the help of experts within D2L and a group of interns from NBCC, New Brunswick Community College. So in this Brightspace toolbox, there is an introduction unit that talks about UDL accessibility and then the importance of practicing UDL by considering accessibility first. Then the next unit, titled Tips to Try, provides some wonderful tips helpful for instructors in their daily job. Then comes the unit titled Toolbox, where you will find all the Brightspace features helpful to make learning accessible while practicing UDL. And each of these units has like 2 subunits, one dedicated for accessibility in UDL, and the second one gives more ideas about UDL, maybe more tips and tools for those who want to explore that. And you will see discussions and practice questions all throughout the course. This Brightspace Toolbox course uses the power of storytelling in learning. There is a cute little brain who comes as the narrator in various looks and styles with heart-touching facial expressions of happiness, anxiety, and calmness, and a lot more emotions a learner goes through in the learning journey. So today we are inviting you to suggest a name for this cute little brain. There is this link to the discussion on community where you can go in and add the name you like, which will be added in the chat. We will select one from those to use in the course. And with that, let me hand this over to Sam for another exciting announcement.
Thank you, Aggie. So the Wichita State University and some other universities get together every year and hold this accessibility summer camp, which is one day full of accessibility sessions, very well organized, totally online, attracting around 1,000 participants every year. So it's a free virtual accessibility conference. This year it's taking place on June 2nd. And D2L is a sponsor and presenter every year. We are very happy to welcome each and every one of you to go register. You'll be receiving this deck, of course, and you can click on that link and go read the details and register for the summer camp and participate and contribute and gain as well. Thank you.
I have the pleasure of providing some information to you about how we hope we'll get a chance to stay connected. We have tried to prepare lots of information for you about resources in the Brightspace Learning Center. We'd love to have you help us name that brain. And we have a discussion linked in our community. The PowerPoint slides for today are also provided inside of our community site. So please connect with our accessibility interest group. We'd love to have you join if you haven't already. Inside of our community, there are lots of places where we hope we can stay in touch and stay connected, including by asking a question, community FAQs. We have lots of different kinds of discussions you can bookmark so that you can get automated email notifications when we make updates. You can always reach out to us over Twitter or by email as well. So we do hope that we can stay connected and keep that conversation going. We'd also like to recognize your participation in our event in lots of different ways. Thank you all so much for sharing and learning with us today. And we wanted to say a special congratulations and shout out to Rachel Castle, who is the winner of our GAAD Surprise Prize. So Rachel, if you would be so kind as to connect with us, we just want to make sure that we have your correct email address so that we can send you out your prize, but we would love to make sure that we are connecting you with that special offering. Thank you so much to everybody for connecting with us and celebrating Global Accessibility Awareness Day. We have just a little bit more to share with you, but congratulations to wonderful Rachel Castle for your win. We want to make sure that we're leaving some time to find out more from you even now. So we are providing a short survey here. It's just popping up just like some of our questions and answers that we provided earlier in the presentation. If you'd be willing to give us some feedback on how we can make sure we continue to keep you informed with events like this and plan additional information so we can improve and make sure we're connecting you with the kind of content that you're looking for. We'd love to hear your feedback. And also, please let us know if you have other kinds of questions. I see one that's just come up, a question about how to find the accessibility interest group, how to make sure that we're connecting. I am going to grab a link to the group directly and then pop that link right into our Q&A section. So this is a link I'm just putting in our Q&A to all groups inside of community. And I want to make sure I'm also providing the link specifically to the accessibility interest group. I'm going to just provide a little bit more information there in case folks are looking for it. Perfect. Thank you so much to everyone who's hopping in to ask questions too. These are great. There was another question about, can you provide the link to the summer camp here? If you give us just one more moment, I'm going to make sure that I'm connecting you with that link as well. And I'm trying to find the video note course tips. Where on community site can I find this? I'm going to, while I provide the link for the summer camp, Julie, can I put you on the spot for a second to speak to how folks can find their way over to our video note course resources?
Yeah, sure. So we do have a leave behind slide as well that we'll connect you with that has all of the resources we've talked about today. So you'll be linked out to the accessibility interest group. You'll be linked out to all of the Learning Center resources that we chatted about, as well as the summer camp, as well as the Name That Brain discussion. So all of these resources are compiled for you in one neat and tidy slide that we will connect with the event and connect with you after. But I can quite easily just grab the video note. There were two video note resources that we chatted about, so I'll just connect you with both right here in the question and answer.
Also, crew, I think we also have another member hop in and ask a question about like how can they find all the various courses that we've mentioned. And I think just like if I could do a quick screen share, in the Brightspace community, we do have a training KB, which can be navigated through via the nav bar under the resources tab, where you will find the training option in the onboard menu. Once you navigate your way through into community via the nav bar into the training KB, you would be able to find a directory of all Learning Center offerings right from within the Learning Center directory of offerings. When you navigate your way through into that particular area, we have a listing of all the freemium resources that we've just mentioned in this presentation. And make sure that you're logged in to the community so that you can access your way over into the Brightspace Learning Center to connect yourself to those courses.
We've provided a link in the Q&A also to that complete directory, which is a great great spot to go and review all of the different courses and teaching tools that we offer. I love that the way that we were able to highlight some of the free downloads that you get with some of those courses. So things like HTML templates, which are designed with instructional design best practices in mind, components that help to create a more equitable learning experience for folks who are accessing that material with a variety of different assistive technologies. So some really helpful information provided. These are just some wonderful questions that you all have been asking. It makes our session a much more valuable one when we can connect together. There's a great question here about Read Speaker, trying to learn more about what that is, how it works, and how it can support folks who are in the role of a courseware developer. And I believe that Julie has just connected that individual with a bit more information. Julie, I just want to double check, did we connect them with the course?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that you can find lots more information about Read Speaker and how it is used as an assistive technology tool in our accessibility lab. So I did just link to that Learning Center resource. What we're actually linking you to isn't right directly into the Learning Center. So it'll link you to a community article that sort of explains the whole resource, and then a link into the Learning Center from there. As Steph said, we really appreciate these questions. Keep them coming. We still have time, and we're just really happy to be connecting with you and to be connecting you with some of these helpful resources.
I think we touched on this just a moment ago, but now in our Brightspace community, or our new community site, we've just been announcing the launch of a new beta single sign-on experience. When you connect with the single sign-on login to the new community environment, it allows you to get into the Learning Center with just one set of credentials. Over the next little while, we'd be making more iterative improvements to ensure that you connect even faster and more easily to that Brightspace Learning Center. But it's a great point from Julie that when you connect with those resources from our community or do a search for free courses or teaching tools in our Brightspace community, you'll always be presented with an article about each course, each teaching tool, and then a link to log in. Once you are logged in with single sign-on, you are done. No need for an additional login or extra steps. So a real advantage to connecting with that new single sign-on experience. These are wonderful questions that have been coming in. Another one that was just posted: any suggestions for learners with speech to text options in terms of extensions or tools? Sam, may I pass this question on to you? I think you're just on mute there, but this is a question about what suggestions we have for learners with speech to text options in terms of extensions or tools to support speech to text.
So speech to text would be coming in two ways. One is when people would want to use only speech as the input method, in which case they might be using something like Dragon. And the other would be in the case of writing support, where Read Speaker has a tool called Text Aid that comes along with it. And that helps a lot with supporting when students are writing with, dictation, prediction, word prediction, and so many other features. Does that answer your question, or would you need more details?
I haven't had an additional response just yet inside of the Q&A, but we will continue to watch. These have all been great. And I hope that you'll continue to share with us here in the QA in our final minutes of our Global Accessibility Awareness Day, and also in our community. So that same individual wanted to know, do these tools work with discussion boards or exams. So speech to text. Thank you so much for your help and for your question.
Yeah, Read Speaker does work with discussions as well as quiz questions.
These are just wonderful, wonderful questions that have been posted. They also help us understand more about the kinds of resources and additional information that we might continue to post inside of our community, and also continue to develop inside of our Learning Center to make sure that you're connected with more information in these areas. So please don't be shy also to give us feedback in our community or even here in the QA about additional topics you'd love to learn more about. It's very helpful to us, and our goal is to make sure we're connecting you to the right content and our best experts. Well, to everyone who has been joining our Global Accessibility Awareness Day event, thank you so much for taking this time to connect with us, to mark this special occasion with us. It wouldn't have been a Global Accessibility Awareness Day for us without all of you. So thank you for being a part of our community, for helping us to learn with you, and for being so willing to share, connect, and ask questions. That's how we all learn together. Thank you everyone for joining us, and to our excellent accessibility team for all of your help and support, and for the effort that goes into preparing these free courses and teaching tools, the resources that are available, and for keeping the discussion flowing in our accessibility interest group. We're so grateful for all of you. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.